Welcome to AgInfoTech LLC's online video series. My name is Tim Norris and I am the founder and CEO of AgInfoTech. We want to take this opportunity to provide a more in-depth look at the planting products that we offer. The heart of any company is the employees. We currently have 10 employees that are dedicated to providing you with quality and timely products, precision ag products and services. AgInfoTech likes to describe our precision ag cycle as a continuous wheel, starting with planning, going to planting and scouting, and ending up with starting the wheel all over again with the planting process. What we want to talk about today, though, is planting. AgInfoTech wants to be your planting specialist. We have several different planting solutions to help you get the most out of your planting operation. We have AutoSteer, variable rate, population monitoring, seed spacing quality monitoring, section control, downforce control, and seed bed preparation tools available for your use. I'm going to start off with looking at the steering solutions. We basically have two families of steering solutions: assisted steering and full hydraulic auto steer. Assisted steering is where we put an electric motor on your steering wheel and it actually turns the steering wheel for you. These tend to be a little less expensive and tend to not have the performance that the full hydraulic kits have, but we have more kits available for just about any vehicle that was produced from 1975 on. Then we have the full hydraulic auto steer kits. These kits fit most of the tractors that were made within the last 20 years, and this is where we tie into the actual hydraulics of the tractor and we steer the tractor hydraulically instead of trying to steer it by turning your steering wheel. These kits tend to be much more accurate and much more seamless and less intrusive in the tractor cab. We have kits, like I say, available for most tractors made with the last 20 years, and we have several kits for all the auto steer ready vehicles that are out there that were produced over the last several years. Variable rate application. This is where we actually take the ground drive off of the planter and we put a hydraulic or an electric motor on that drive, and we control your planter either hydraulically or electric. We can control the following variable rate drives: John Deere, Case, Great Plains, White, Kinze, OEM hydraulic drives directly from the factory. If your planter does not have a hydraulic drive on it, we can either add on a Ralston or a PWM aftermarket drive. We also have, from Precision Planting, the new V-Drive. That is an electric motor drive that takes all the chains, all the bearings, all the hydraulic motors out of the equation, and it drives the seed disc directly with an electric motor. Kinze also came out with a new 4900 electric drive planter that we can control through the VT portion of our displays. Seed monitoring. We have several different solutions, starting from just monitoring population, or you can go with one of our more advanced operations that monitor for skips, doubles, and misplaced seeds. These monitors truly turn the whole planter into a seed meter test stand. A test of 100 side-by-side trials over 3 years showed an average yield increase of 5.7 bushels per acre, not by monitoring, but by monitoring and correcting the singulation problems with the seed meters. If we just monitor it and we don't make corrections, we're not going to see that type of yield increase. But if we monitor it, know we have a problem, find the problem, and fix the problem, we can see about a 5.7 bushel per acre average increase over those 100 side-by-side trials. This is kind of an example of what it would look like. This is the AgLeader Integra. You can see a virtual row trench over on the right hand side, and it shows us that we have one misplaced seed on that row. If you look at our spacing quality, it's showing us that we have 98.6% spacing quality. It also shows us that every single seed dropped and we did not have any doubles, which was a good thing, and that's why our singulation is at 100%. If we would hit row number 2, we could see the virtual row trench over there. We would see that we do not have 100% singulation because we actually had a missed seed represented by that red mark, and we have a double represented by the orange mark. So we would know that we need to go out and look at rows number 2, probably need to look at rows number 12, also 6, 5, 7, and 16, 13 also have problems that we want to look at. Section control. We can control several different clutches that are out there. We can control OEM point row clutches that came on most of the planters since the mid-1990s or even into the 1980s. We also have individual row clutches that we can control that are stuck on planters. Our goal with these individual row clutches is, if you look in the picture down below, you can see where the headland is kind of curved and we're planting into those point rows. With individual row clutches, as soon as we get into that area that's already been planted, it will shut that seed row off, and that will save us a lot of seed, and it'll also help us with our yield, as I will show here later. If your planter does not have individual row clutches from the factory, we can add on clutches to an older planter. We can use the AgLeader Sure Stop clutch, which is a electric clutch that basically stops the chain. We have the AgLeader Sure Vac clutch, which basically shuts the vacuum off on a John Deere planter. Or we can use the Trimble True Count clutches, which are air clutches that actually shut the rows off. Also, Precision Planting's new V-Drive will act as a clutch as well as a variable rate drive. So if you have the V-Drives, or if we put V-Drives on your planter, we can not only control the rate at which your seed is planting, but we can shut that planting unit off just like a clutch. So section control provides one of the quickest paybacks of pretty much anything that's out there. Let's take a look at the numbers. On 500 acres of corn that has an average yield of 180 bushels per acre with an average selling price of $4 per bushel, figuring an average seed cost of $120 per acre, and the growers tell us on average they see about a 3% overlap savings from steering. So if we have hydraulic steering, auto steer on there, they say they can reduce their overlap by about 3%. They also say that the clutches give an average of 5% savings in seed. We've had people tell us as much as 8 or 9% savings. Those areas that are double planted tend to be reduced in yield by about 20%. Some people will tell us that's more like 40% or even 50% where you double plant. Well, to get all this equipment on a planter, you're going to spend about $27,625 in RTK auto steer and clutches for a 12-row planter. We estimate that based on that average corn yield and selling price that's above and the savings, that we will pay for this system in 2.64 years. So even though it's a large investment, these systems will pay for themselves fairly quickly on an average sized farm. Downforce control is something that we've been getting into here in the last couple years, and we're very excited to have some solutions that really provide us with the ability to add downforce and upforce onto the row unit. This allows the seed to be placed at the right depth without compacting the soil. Studies have shown an average yield advantage of around 11 bushels per acre to planting at the proper downforce versus too light or too much. These are an example of the two hydraulic downforce systems that we have to offer. One, the green one, is from AgLeader. It is a hydraulic downforce system that has an accumulator on it that goes on each individual row, and the Precision Planting is on the right, and it is a hydraulic downforce unit that has the valve and everything right in it, and it will control downforce on every row as well. Finally, we're going to talk just a brief amount about seedbed preparation. Through Precision Planting, we have 3 products that will help us make sure that we have a good seedbed and that our seedbed is our seed is tucked away into that trench and has good seed to soil contact. The first one we want to talk about is the Bullseye seed tube. It's a very strong seed tube. This seed tube has a metal end on the end of it so that the seed tube does not get broken and frayed and deflects the seed away from the trench. It also helps ensure that we have a good quality trench and a true V that we want to drop that seed down into. The Keaton seed firmers go right on top of that. They bolt onto that bullseye seed tube, and they go right on top of that seed and push that seed down into the trench and make sure that it's planted exactly where we want it to be planted. And then the clean sweep is row cleaners that go on out in front of the unit. We can put wheel treaders on there. We can put the air force on the clean sweep so that we have the correct pressure on that at all times, and that can help us with our seed bed preparation as well. For more information on these products or any of our products, visit our website at www.aginfotech.net or give us a call at 740-507-2503.